Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to speak to you about a subject that resonates deeply with every heart, how God reveals your soulmate. But let me tell you something up front. The ways of God are not the ways of man. His methods are often unconventional, strange even, but they are always intentional. When God is leading you to the person He has chosen for you, it is never by accident or coincidence. It is always a journey of preparation, revelation, and alignment. Now, let us begin with a fundamental truth. Before God reveals your soulmate, He first establishes your purpose. You see, no relationship, no matter how romantic or beautiful, can thrive without a foundation of purpose. Why? Because purpose is what gives life meaning. It is what anchors you when emotions waver and life becomes challenging. If you don't know why you were created, how can you know who is meant to walk alongside you? Purpose precedes. God begins by molding you into the person you need to be. He is not in a rush. He is a God of process, and His timing is perfect. Sometimes this process begins with separation. He isolates you, not because He wants you to feel lonely, but because He wants you to listen. In those quiet seasons, He refines your character, sharpens your vision, and strengthens your relationship with Him. He removes distractions so that you can focus on becoming the person you are called to be. But here is where it gets strange. In His divine process, God often disrupts your comfort zone. He may uproot you from the familiar and place you in situations that stretch you. You might find yourself in a new city, a new job, or even a completely different circle of people. Why? Because your soulmate is rarely found in a place of complacency. Growth is uncomfortable, but it is necessary for you to step into the fullness of God's plan. Then there are the closed doors. Those moments when God says no to relationships you thought were meant to be. It is painful, isn't it, to invest your heart in something only for it to slip away. But let me tell you this, God's no is not rejection, it is redirection. He closes the wrong doors to lead you to the right one. Those relationships that ended, they were part of your preparation, not your destination. As you walk through this journey, God will use people to shape you. Some will come into your life for a season, teaching you valuable lessons about yourself and about love. Not everyone you meet is meant to stay, and not every connection is meant to be permanent. But every person has a purpose in your life story, even if it is only for a chapter. And then, when the time is right, God begins to speak. But His voice is not always loud or obvious. Sometimes it comes through a quiet confirmation, an unexpected conversation, a sermon that feels like it was written just for you, or even an inner prompting that you can't shake. God's whispers are deliberate. He speaks in ways that are unique to you because He knows how to get your attention. As you draw closer to God, something profound begins to happen. Your desires start to change. The things you once thought were important, like superficial attraction or worldly status, begin to fade. Instead, you start valuing qualities like integrity, vision, and faith. Your heart aligns with God's heart, and you realize that His choice for you is not just about love, it's about purpose. I promise, when God finally reveals your soulmate, there will be peace. Not chaos, not confusion, not fear, peace. It will be a supernatural knowing that this is the person God has chosen for you. And it might not look the way you expected. Sometimes God surprises us. He chooses someone who doesn't fit the mold we created, but fits perfectly into His plan for our lives. God's ways are strange, but always perfect. Trust His process even when it feels uncertain. His plan for your life and your love story is greater than anything you could imagine. God's ways are not our ways, and His timing is not our timing. Sometimes the journey to discovering your soulmate is not about finding someone else, but about discovering more of yourself. There are seasons in life when God calls you into isolation, and in those moments it may feel like you're being punished or abandoned. But the truth is, God's isolation is never for your harm. It is always for your preparation. There are seasons when God allows you to experience singleness, not as a punishment, but as a divine preparation. These seasons are not meant to make you feel less than, unworthy, or incomplete. Instead, God uses these times to refine you, to draw you closer to Him, and to prepare you for the future He has already mapped out for you. This is a season of becoming, the season where God can work in you, strengthen you, and align your heart with His greater purpose. Many times in the midst of singleness, we become frustrated or confused. The loneliness may weigh heavy, and we may question why we haven't met the person we're praying for. But let me tell you something. God is not ignoring you. He is preparing you. He is making you whole so that when your soulmate comes, you won't be seeking completion in them. You will be two whole individuals coming together to fulfill the greater plan that God has for both of you. Singleness is a season of self-discovery. It's when you have the opportunity to grow and mature in your faith and character. It is during these times of solitude that God works deeply within you. You are able to hear His voice more clearly because the distractions of relationships, opinions, and external pressures are removed. God can work on your heart and spirit. In this space, He shapes you to be the person who can carry out His vision for your life and walk in alignment with your soulmate's purpose. God also uses this time to prepare you for the future. He doesn't want you to enter a relationship unprepared, carrying baggage, unresolved issues, or a lack of direction. He wants to use these seasons to heal and equip you, so that when your soulmate arrives, you're not only ready for the relationship, but ready for the assignment that relationship will carry. But let's be clear. This season is not about passively waiting for someone to show up. It's about actively growing in every area of your life, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and even physically. God may be refining your character, teaching you patience, or working on your emotional maturity. He may be molding you into someone who can love well, forgive freely, and understand the true meaning of commitment. We often look at singleness as a waiting room, a temporary space that we hope to get through quickly. But God sees it as a workshop, a place where He builds the strength and wisdom you need for the future. Instead of seeing it as a time of lacking, see it as a time of preparing for all that is to come. Just as a seed must be buried in the ground before it can sprout into something beautiful, so too must you go through a season of internal growth before God reveals your soulmate. Isolation may not always be easy, but it is always purposeful. When God isolates you, He is positioning you for something greater. He is allowing you to become the best version of yourself, free from the pressures and distractions that might otherwise hold you back. Through this isolation, you are becoming whole, healed, and equipped to walk in divine partnership with the person God has chosen for you. In every season of life, trust God's process. His timing, His ways, His plans, they are always for your good. He will not leave you in isolation forever, but He will use every moment to prepare you for the fulfillment of His promise. Keep your heart open, stay faithful, and trust that the season of singleness will eventually lead to the revelation of your soulmate, someone who is prepared just as much as you are, ready to walk beside you in God's perfect plan. Many people mistakenly believe that a soulmate is someone who will complete them, as if they are broken and need another person to make them whole. The idea is romantic, but it is not the truth. God does not create people to be incomplete, lacking, or broken. He created you with purpose, potential, and destiny. And He will not send someone into your life to fix you or fill an empty space. Your soulmate is not there to make you whole. They are sent to complement you and help you fulfill what God has already placed within you. It's important to understand that you are already whole in God. When God made you, He made you complete in His image. You may have areas of growth, healing, and development, but none of these equate to brokenness. You are not lacking or incomplete. The truth is, you are a unique individual, equipped with the gifts, talents, and strength that God has placed within you. He has a purpose for your life, and that purpose is to be fulfilled with His guidance, not through dependence on another person to complete you. The role of a soulmate is to come alongside you, not to fill the gaps you think you have. They are there to complement who you already are, enhancing your strengths, supporting your vision, and challenging you to grow further in your purpose. God has designed them to be an extension of your calling, a partner who will help you fulfill the plans He has for you. Consider how a puzzle works. Each piece has its own specific shape and design, but together they create something beautiful and complete. Your soulmate is like that missing piece. They fit perfectly with your life, but they don't define you. You were already made whole by God, and when you come together, you align in a way that helps you both reach your full potential. When you are in a relationship with someone who complements you, you will notice that there is an alignment of values, purpose, and vision. You will share a similar understanding of what God has called you to do, and together you will work towards fulfilling that calling. This is why it is so crucial to find someone who aligns with your vision and purpose in life. It's not just about attraction or chemistry, although those things are important. It's about finding someone who is walking the same path, heading in the same direction, and who can join forces with you to carry out God's mission for your life. A soulmate is someone who encourages you to become the best version of yourself, not someone who needs to fix you. If you enter a relationship thinking that your partner is the answer to all your problems, or that they will heal your wounds, you are setting yourself up for disappointment. True love is not about dependency, it is about partnership. It is about coming together as two strong, whole individuals who are willing to walk alongside each other in pursuit of God's purpose. God will send you someone who challenges you to grow, to dream bigger, and to push past the limitations you may have set for yourself. They will be someone who inspires you, not because they fill a void, but because they bring out the fullness of what God has already placed within you. They will challenge your perspective, hold you accountable, and support you in the journey ahead. But remember, they are not there to complete you. They are there to help you fulfill God's purpose in your life. If you are seeking a soulmate, do not look for someone who will fix you or make you feel whole. Instead, seek someone who will complement your strengths, help you grow, and walk with you in purpose. When you find that person, you will discover that together you will achieve far more than you ever could have alone. You will find fulfillment not in completing each other, but in building a life together that reflects God's glory and purpose. In the end, your soulmate will help you fulfill the incredible plan that God has placed on your life. You were created with greatness inside of you, and when you find someone who complements that greatness, you will be unstoppable. Together, you will walk in the fullness of God's purpose, fulfilling everything He has destined for you both. In our world today, it's easy to get caught up in the idea that a soulmate is someone who makes us feel good, someone who sparks our emotions or gives us butterflies in our stomachs. There's nothing wrong with attraction. It's a natural part of a relationship. But if we rely solely on feelings or appearances to determine if someone is the right match for us, we may miss out on what God truly has in store. You see, God's match for you isn't just about chemistry, looks, or fleeting emotions. It's about alignment with His will and shared vision for life. The truth is, attraction fades, emotions ebb and flow, looks change over time. If you build a relationship solely on these external factors, you are building it on shaky ground. But when your connection with someone is founded on alignment with God's purpose, it becomes solid and unshakable. The foundation is deeper than just physical attraction or temporary feelings. It's about two individuals coming together because they're aligned with each other's destiny and God's plan for their lives. Think of alignment as a compass. A compass points you in the right direction, helping you stay on course. When you are aligned with someone, you are not just following your own path. You are walking in sync, moving toward a shared purpose and fulfilling the divine mission God has for both of you. This is why it is so crucial to seek alignment in every relationship. You need someone who not only shares your values and beliefs, but also understands and supports the vision God has placed in your heart. Attraction might draw you to someone, but alignment is what keeps you together. Alignment is about more than just agreeing on surface level things like hobbies or tastes. It's about being in harmony spiritually, emotionally, and purposefully. It's about having the same core values and vision for life. It's about both partners seeking God first and allowing Him to guide the relationship. When two people are aligned with God's will, the relationship becomes a force for good, not only in their own lives, but in the lives of everyone around them. God's will is not just about finding someone you like or someone who makes you feel good. It's about discovering someone who is walking in His will for their life, someone who shares a similar purpose and passion for what God wants to accomplish. A soulmate who is aligned with you in purpose will help you grow spiritually, emotionally, and intellectually. They won't just be someone you can talk to. They'll be someone who challenges you, motivates you, and encourages you to pursue the calling that God has placed on your life. When your relationship is based on alignment, you are not just trying to make each other happy in the moment. You are striving toward a common goal. You are walking hand in hand, pursuing the work God has called you both to do. This is where true fulfillment comes in. It's not just about being together for companionship or pleasure. It's about working together for a greater purpose, supporting each other as you each step into the fullness of what God has created you to be. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that attraction should be the primary factor in choosing a partner. After all, the world teaches us that love is about chemistry, butterflies, and sparks. But while attraction can be a part of a relationship, it should never be the foundation. The true foundation of any lasting relationship is alignment with God's purpose. If you want to find your soulmate, stop looking only for someone who excites you in the moment or makes your heart race. Look for someone whose life is aligned with God's will. Seek someone who shares your values, your faith, and your vision for the future. When you find someone who is aligned with your purpose, you will find a partnership that is unshakable, a relationship that not only brings joy and love, but also helps you both grow into the people God created you to be. Alignment over attraction. This is what will keep you grounded when the emotions fade, when life gets tough, and when the challenges come. Alignment will keep you moving forward together in God's purpose, fulfilling His plan for your lives. And that, my friends, is what makes a relationship truly eternal. In a world that thrives on instant gratification, waiting is often seen as something negative, a delay, an obstacle, a sign of something gone wrong. When it comes to finding your soulmate, many people begin to question, why is it taking so long? Why haven't I found the one yet? But what if I told you that the waiting period is not a sign of denial, but rather a divine process of preparation? Divine delays are not denials. They are part of God's perfect plan for your life, a plan that is designed to bring you into alignment with the right person at the right time. God's timing is always perfect, but it rarely matches our own sense of urgency. We want things now, we want them our way, and we want them according to our own timeline. But God, in His wisdom and love, knows exactly when the time is right. His delays are not because He is punishing you or withholding His blessing from you. They are because He is preparing you and the one He has for you for a greater future. During this waiting period, God is working behind the scenes in ways we may not fully understand. While you might be focused on waiting for your soulmate, God is focusing on making you ready for the person He has destined for you. The waiting is His way of refining your character, growing your faith, and developing your patience. It is a time for you to become more of the person you need to be, so that when you do meet the one He has prepared for you, you will be equipped to love and serve them the way God intended. God is also working in your soulmate's life, preparing them for you. Perhaps they are going through their own seasons of growth and development. They may be working through their own personal struggles, challenges, or areas of healing. Just as God is shaping you, He is shaping them. The waiting period is not just about you. It's about both of you becoming the people you need to be in order to walk in unity and fulfill God's purpose for your relationship. Think about it like this. Two paths are being formed. One is your path, the other is your soulmate's. Both paths may be winding, sometimes difficult, and at times seemingly going in different directions. But the beauty of God's design is that these paths are being perfectly orchestrated to meet at the right moment. The delay is not a setback. It is the process of preparation, the time needed for both of you to be exactly where you need to be when the moment arrives. In this waiting period, God is teaching you how to be complete in Him, how to be content in His love and His purpose. He is teaching you how to thrive as an individual, knowing that your worth is not found in a relationship, but in your identity as a child of God. As you wait, you are becoming stronger, more patient, and more confident in the person He created you to be. This preparation will allow you to enter into a relationship not from a place of need, but from a place of wholeness, knowing that you bring value to the partnership. And for your soulmate, God is also refining them in the same way. They are learning the same lessons, becoming the person who will complement you and walk alongside you in fulfilling God's purpose. When the two of you finally meet, it won't be by accident. It will be a divine union. Two people, fully prepared, coming together to walk in purpose and in alignment with God's plan. We often see delays as disappointments, but in the hands of our loving Father, delays are just the waiting room for something greater. Trust that God is working even when you can't see it. Trust that He is orchestrating the timing, the location, and the circumstances for the perfect moment when your paths will finally meet. The waiting period is not a denial of God's promises. It is the preparation ground for the fulfillment of those promises. When the time is right, God will bring you together with your soulmate. And when you look back, you will see that every delay, every moment of waiting was part of His perfect plan to bring you into a relationship that is blessed, aligned, and fulfilling. So, during this waiting period, rest in the knowledge that God is not withholding from you. He is preparing you for the incredible future that He has planned. And when the time comes, you will walk into it with both hands wide open, ready to receive the love and partnership He has been preparing for you all along. When it comes to matters of the heart, many people experience confusion, uncertainty, and even fear. You may have felt those butterflies of excitement or the rush of emotions when thinking about someone, and while those feelings can be enjoyable, they aren't always reliable when it comes to discerning God's will for your life. When God shows you your soulmate, the confirmation will come through peace, not confusion, chaos, or anxiety. His plan brings a sense of assurance, not restlessness. Peace is one of the most important markers of God's direction. The Bible tells us that God's peace surpasses all understanding, Philippians 4:7. This peace is not simply the absence of stress or discomfort. It is a deep, abiding sense of security that comes from knowing that you are exactly where God wants you to be. When it comes to your soulmate, peace will be the confirmation that you are both walking in alignment with His will. You may have experienced a relationship where everything seemed to be moving too fast, or where you felt a sense of unease and uncertainty, even though things appeared to be good on the surface. These feelings are often a sign that something is out of alignment. God does not bring confusion into our lives. He does not work through chaos or anxiety. His direction is always, if there is confusion, fear, or turmoil in a relationship, it may be an indication that this is not the right person or the right time. When God reveals your soulmate, there will be a sense of calm. You won't feel rushed, pressured, or anxious. Instead, there will be a quiet confidence and assurance in your spirit. You will feel an inner peace that transcends the normal worries and fears that often accompany relationships. This peace is not the same as the temporary excitement or attraction you may feel when you first meet someone. It is a deeper, more lasting peace that comes from knowing that God is in control and that He is leading you towards something good and purposeful. This peace is also a peace that is shared. It's not just about you feeling peace individually, but about both of you experiencing peace together. When two people are aligned with God's will, there is an unspoken harmony that exists between them. Even when challenges arise or decisions need to be made, there is an underlying peace that assures both of you that you are on the right path. This peace allows you to navigate the complexities of life and relationships with confidence, knowing that you are moving forward together in God's timing and purpose. God's plan for your life will never cause anxiety or doubt. If you are experiencing constant fear, anxiety, or confusion about a relationship, it's important to pause and seek God's guidance. His peace will always provide clarity, even in the midst of uncertainty. If you are unsure whether someone is your soulmate, ask God to confirm His will with peace. He will speak to your heart and lead you in the right direction. Remember, peace is not the absence of difficulty, but the presence of God's assurance. Life and relationships will always have challenges, but when you are aligned with God's plan, His peace will carry you through. Even when things are difficult, that peace will remain, giving you the strength and confidence to continue moving forward. As you seek God's guidance in relationships, look for the peace that confirms His direction. Trust that He will never lead you into confusion or chaos. His plan for your soulmate will be accompanied by peace. Peace in your heart, peace in your interactions, and peace in the way that the relationship grows and develops. So, as you wait for God to reveal your soulmate, rest in His peace. Trust that He will confirm His plan through peace that surpasses all understanding. When the right person enters your life, there will be no doubt. You will know deep within your spirit that God has led you to this moment, and that peace will be the assurance you need to move forward with confidence, knowing that you are walking in alignment with God's perfect plan for your life. In conclusion, let me remind you of one profound truth. Your soulmate is not an accident, nor is the journey to finding them a random process. It is a divine orchestration by a loving and purposeful God who knows exactly what He is doing in your life. Everything that has led you to this point, the seasons of waiting, the moments of isolation, the lessons learned, and the preparation in your heart, has been a part of God's greater plan for you. He is not only preparing you for your soulmate, but He is also preparing your soulmate for you. Together in His perfect timing, your path will converge, and you will walk in divine alignment. Remember, your soulmate is not sent to complete you, but to complement the purpose already within you. God's design is that you are whole in Him, and He will bring someone into your life who will enhance that purpose, challenge you to grow, and help you fulfill the calling He has placed on your life. But before that happens, He will first align your heart and soul with His will, and it is this alignment over fleeting emotions or external attraction that will lead you to your divine partner. Trust God's timing. Do not be discouraged by delays, for divine delays are not denials. They are part of the preparation process, a time to refine your character, align your vision, and strengthen your faith. Your waiting is not in vain. It is God's way of perfecting both you and the one He has chosen for you. And in this waiting, He will confirm His plan for you through His peace. When the time is right, peace will fill your heart, and there will be no doubt that you are walking in the path He has set before you. So, I urge you today, embrace the process, embrace the purpose. Know that God is at work even in the unseen, and He will lead you to the person who is perfectly aligned with your destiny. Walk with confidence, walk with assurance, and walk in peace, knowing that your soulmate is not just a dream, but a divine reality that God is bringing to fruition in His perfect time. And then His plan is always greater than your own, and when you trust in His process, you will discover that the journey was worth every moment of waiting.